My name's Hannah Johnson and this is my pitch. To start my pitch I did a bit of research into horror trailers because of my two plot ideas, one's supernatural and one's slasher. I looked at Halloween and films which are slashers. I found that the use of silence in the films is good to create suspension for the audience. That would be an idea if I was to choose that. The theme song is introduced at the end. This gives the main character an identity, a bit like Jaws. This is known as a Normal Maltese.
Oh yeah, alright, yeah.
And I looked at Paranormal Activity for the supernatural. I like the fact it's a home video, so maybe I could do mine like that, like a documentary, try and give it a real aspect. I also like the colours blue and green used throughout it constantly to represent the ghost and the haunting, which is quite a good idea. These are my plot ideas. We've got The Calm Before the Storm, which is basically like a young man or woman who on the surface is a normal person, but when they can no longer... What's it doing?
Is it not going back?
No.
Just do it at the thing.
Pause.
Is that the right slide, yeah?
Yeah. Thank you. But they can no longer keep up with the front and the cracks begin and the spine-chilling secrets come out. What will happen when the people realise who this person really is? But on my blogger I've put a more detailed outline of the plot and like, the cinematography and editing I'd used. And the other plot idea is Sinner Inside. A well-to-do girl with a bright future soon becomes part of a life which she would never have imagined for herself, having the normality of her life ripped away and the horror of what has made home inside of her. What will she go to release herself of the sin inside? And again, I've done a bigger outline of what that's about. For sound, I did quite a lot for sound because it's a horror film, so there's loads of different aspects I could go from. As I said before, with the Halloween and having its own identity soundtrack.
Yeah.
I didn't even press the button then. That's right, it's just give my moderator something to watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the show.
Yeah. Oh, well, your fault, technical difficulties, aren't they?
When I analysed the trailers, I found that a lot of films use the sounds that are very unnerving and freaky, such as Insidious 2. When the disruption is seen in the trailer, there is a sound that in some ways imitates evacuation alarms. This pulses, so when we hear it, it gets louder and then quiet again, and this is a good way to create panic to the audience, as the evacuation style ring signals panic and danger.
Alright.
That's like explaining why silence would be a good way to use. And in trailers there are also tags used throughout these, sometimes are voiced in by a voiceover, which normally is very loud and muffled. Taking this information on board, I think maybe using the whisper would be good effect, as this would suggest that whatever is in the film, whether it is supernatural or a psycho killer, they need to be hidden from. These are some of my locations, like for The Calm Before the Storm, it could be a college or community use of a residential street to show that it's in with this like society and stuff, which is a bad thing. And my other location was like a haunted house or like a derelict building. Typical direction, if I was to go with the Sinner Inside idea, I would use the research I've done in other similar horrors to do more detailed analysis so that I could take all the best aspects out of each one and immerse them together in my own way to create the best trailer I can possible. Also look through posters and magazine covers for these trailers slash films to see what I can take from them to make mine look as professional and appealing as possible. making it exactly what my target audience are looking for. Cinematography is just basically like, because it's a horror film, like extreme close-ups and close-ups to get into the characters' like area to feel the panic and everything, like tight frames to show that there's no way of getting out. I've got like medium over-the-shoulder shots, so it's like you're with the person and you can, like, you're in the action with them. Like hidden shots, like from behind a door, so then it creates like someone's watching and they don't know about it.
Yeah. Fly on the wall.
Yeah, fly on the wall. Editing, a lot of jump cuts at the end to create panic and suspension to the audience. Fades and dissolves at the beginning to relate scenes together without giving too much information away.
Oh. So you need to go back again.
Yeah. Why does it just keep doing that?
Oh no, I think it might be dead sensitive.
Oh, it's gone back to where I need it. Cutaways can be affected also. For example, Insidious 2, they used to show the woman in the hole, and it cuts away to a strange woman sat on the sofa, and then she gets up and walks out of the room and cuts away to the corridor that the woman should be there, but she's gone. This is a good way to fit all the interesting parts in a trailer to appeal to the target audience without having too much boring bits in there. Mise-en-scène, low-key lighting to create a dark undertone to the trailer to relate to horror. Use of colours such as red to represent anger, blood, death, danger. Costumes and makeup. If I was going to go with the sinner inside, obviously at first it'd be natural to show like it's just a normal human. And then as it goes on, as she gets more possessed, like the face obviously starts changing, she gets more scary, and so obviously I have to use makeup for that. How I link to my auxiliary tasks. To link my trailer to my poster and magazine cover, I will use the colours that I've used throughout the trailer. For example, Paranormal Activity, the colour green is used throughout the film, so the poster also has a drain of green, and this will link to the film. And the poster together, so the audience are clear that the themes of the genre and everything. Also, in terms of makeup and costume, I will use this on my poster and magazine cover to be clear to the target audience. Tags that I will use in my trailer, for example, coming soon, use the same font and style, so it creates another link between the three. To achieve it, what I'll need to do is source appropriate props from places such as charity shops, joke shops, suitable locations such as homes, derelict buildings, following health and safety, and risk assessments. Research what makes a good trailer. For this I've started detailed analysis of trailers and horror films. Costumes and makeup. Use the trailer I have researched to see how they use makeup and costumes to create representations and characters. Reliable actors, actresses for the characters, so my trailer is ready for the deadline. Know how to use software and equipment and know when I have access to do that, so I can get the best possible shots and also merge them together perfectly using Final Cut. Ta-da! The end.